Did it stop recording on me? Oh my gosh. I don't. Can you guys see me? I don't know what you guys can see. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys can't see me, so sorry. I actually can't see what you guys can see, which is why it's always been so hard to film this video. But dun 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 dun, we are finally doing the kit video today. Let me take these headphones out because it's like making me feel like I'm underneath water. I'm just going to take these Lysol wipes. This is just really quick. I have, if you guys are interested in this this makeup holder desk drawer storage thingy, it is called the Alex drawers from IKEA. I got the white one because that is what went with our decor. That is what went with our decor. So that is what I do. I just use the Sentiva Clorox wipes. You want to make sure you disinfect everything. These are bleach free. The bleach smell can be a little bit rough, and I have it in the scent Toucan Lavender and Jasmine. I took these from my house, as I do most things. My mom does not watch these videos, so she's not going to complain about me taking her $5 Lysol wipes so I can come clean the studio. So I just wipe these down. Some of the stains on here have just become permanent. I don't know why, but I wipe this down every day that I come to work, and if I actually have the time, I wipe it in between clients. So if you can get the black one, I would say go for it. I think black is always more flattering in the makeup world because it doesn't stain as nicely. But as you guys can see, our walls are gray. The color scheme is like gray, pink, and something else like silvery, so, and like gold. So I didn't want to have a big black drawer in here. Oh, I just dropped that on the floor that I emptied, that I currently I'm gonna throw away, and I'm gonna let you guys know if I would buy them back or not, because sometimes you have things in your kit that you wouldn't actually buy back. So to start off for the kit, I have the Nye Final Seal setting spray. This setting spray makes the makeup last very, very, very long. It's very inexpensive compared to most setting sprays. I think this entire container with my pro discount was like about $36, something of that nature. And I just use this, and I originally, when I first bought it, I bought the mini size, which is in this bag over there. But the mini size is like 2 ounces. So I just refill the mini one constantly. Let me get the mini size. This lasts a lot. This will last you through a lot of clients before you need to refill it. So I've literally owned this since October. The beginning of October. I've done Carnival with this. I've done New Year's Eve, Valentine's Day. This has easily lasted me over 100 clients. So I would definitely say make sure to buy the big one if you know you're gonna like the product. I even did that with my Cinema Secrets, which is what I use to clean my brushes. I either clean my brushes with Dawn soap and water, or if I'm in a rush, I use Cinema Secrets. I recommend buying products in the big size, and especially if you can return it. If you end up not liking it, just return it. You don't really need this bottle. I would say, like, say you just have a random empty, just fill that up. So that is the setting spray I use. I also use the E.L.F setting spray. I ran out of that one, so I just go buy some, but I have the E.L.F Dewy one. I wouldn't recommend this unless you were doing more of an editorial or a summery look, because this one will definitely give you a very dewy look. But you don't want your clients to look too oily as they leave. But say maybe the makeup's looking very, very matte, that's where I would use this. So that's why I keep this, because it has coconut and argan oil. So this is really, really a good product. I'm going to leave everything linked down below. I carry 2 primers that I mainly use all over the face, which is the Milk Hydro Primer. I don't know why this is crusting. This is the Milk Hydro Primer and the Too Faced Hangover Primer. This is almost done. This is the big size. I purchased this, I want to say November or December, and it's almost done. It lasted me about 3 months, which is a good price. I got this for $13 at TJ Maxx. I did not buy this full price, so I'm happy that it's lasted me so long. And the Milk Hydrogrip, I did buy this full price. They don't have a pro discount. I got this at Sephora, but once I got this one, I stopped using this one as much because this one's very particular. You really have to let this set in the skin a certain way, and you have to watch how soon you put it on over moisturizer, or it will make your foundation do the craziest things. But if you apply it correctly, this is an amazing primer. Then in the inner T-zone, the primer I always use is the Becca Evermatte. I purchased this one in September. And it's lasted me since. Honestly, I'll tell you guys one good trick. If I go to Sephora, I'll just get a sample of their primer and I'll use theirs because the sample lasts you a really long time. This product cost me about like $25 or $28 with my pro discount. I am a licensed full specialist. I've talked about that before, which means I'm licensed in skin and nails, but I don't do nails. So yeah. So I love this primer for the inner T-zone. It really does keep the makeup nice and matte. So I would definitely recommend this one.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Hey. That is my sweet mate slash best friend named Brianna. You guys saw her in the last video. A lot of you guys really like the look we did on that. So this is some RoseWater and glycerin. I just got this from TJ Maxx for $7. This is something that I would just use to prep the face really quickly. Nothing too special. If you get the Mario Badescu, get the Mario Badescu. This one I think just comes with more, so that's the only reason why I have that. I have a face wash in here, the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cleanser. I would definitely recommend keeping a face wash in your kit, especially if you're stationary, because sometimes clients will come to you with makeup, excess oil, or maybe they were running around all day, they have really oily skin. So I just keep a general face wash, nothing too drying, nothing like acne prone, nothing like that, just something really general just to clean the... You found it. You can talk, girl. They don't care. You found it.
I literally like a dodo. I must have put it in my blow dryer box. I'm like,
no, but that's good. You keep but you just want something very general. So this is a gentle, general one. Do not get anything too drying because you don't want your clients to have a reaction. This is something very general, just in case they come with dirty skin. I also have the Graftopian setting spray. I don't really use it as much. I've had this since October. This is the only size I've ever had, but I still have a good amount of it left. However, you do want to keep things that you haven't used yet. So when I finish the final seal, I'll probably use this before I, run out of it. For brow gel, I only use the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. It's my favorite one. It has like really nice spikes on it. I don't know why. I have to do it with all of this stuff, you guys. Hi, how are you?
I'm probably gonna have a blow dryer
In the beginning? Hydrating eye cream. And that's probably all of the prep that I would recommend for you guys. Oh, and for lip balm, I like the Bite Agave lip mask. This is my favorite one to do a lip mask. Okay guys, so I'm going to switch over to voiceover for this part because she was talking to her client and then she started to blow dry. So I didn't want you guys to have to hear me try to talk over her or talk too loud. So that was the Embryolisse Moisturizer, and this is Lancome Primer. These were just honorable mentions, but what I was saying is that anything I didn't show you guys was because I really don't use it too often anymore. I really don't use the Embryolisse cream anymore, and I rarely use that Lancome moisturizer. I really just save it for my clients with more mature skin. Here I'm just showing you guys the Ultra Kiehl's Facial Toner, and again, this is just a very general toner. I like to use very general products when it comes to skincare if I am going to use anything, because again, you don't want to use anything too strong that could irritate the skin. So I'm just going to show you guys the foundations I have. This is the Milani 2-in-1. Then I use the Maybelline Superstay, I use the Black Opal foundation, and I have the LA Girl Pro Concealer foundation. Those are the 4 foundations. Oh, and the Maybelline Fit Me. These are the 5 foundations I mainly have in my kit, which is why I just laid them out for you. And I'm just going to quickly talk about them. So I like this LA Girl Pro foundation. It's not something that I would necessarily say to go run out and buy for your kit. This is a foundation where if you can't get anything else, that's when I would recommend to use it. Out of all of these foundations, I recommend the Superstay the most because, well, the Superstay or the Black Opal, because they could both do full coverage. You could always sheer something up, sheer something out, but if a foundation cannot get full coverage, it's just not going to get full coverage. Like, there are certain foundations that are just not going to provide you the coverage you need. Like the Milani, no matter what you do, the Milani is definitely not a foundation that if your clients have a lot of hyperpigmentation, dark spots, anything of that nature, it's just not going to cover it. Versus the Black Opal or the Maybelline Superstay, which can really, give that good coverage, that flawless feel. As you guys see it, those are the 2 that I use the most in my videos, and I like the Milani one too. Sometimes I'll keep a lighter coverage foundation in my kit just for the tone. Because the only thing I don't like about the Maybelline Superstay, it gets very orange very, very quickly. A lot of the deeper shades are orange, like even the shade that I like to use on myself, which is 340 Cappuccino, is very orange. So sometimes I feel like I do look a little crazy. So this was just me showing you guys the foundation. Now, a lot has been going on since the quarantine, and I filmed this prior to the quarantine. I wanted to refilm it, which is why it took so long to edit, but then the quarantine happened. The place that you guys see in this video is currently shut down, and a lot is going on. I don't want to get into too many details about it, but let's just say I won't be able to put every single shade I own anymore because I actually don't have access to every single shade, but I will try my hardest to recount as many shades as possible. I just didn't want you guys to continue to wait for this video because I literally think this video has been asked about since I first started this channel. I just feel so guilty about that, because that's the kit that you're actually asking about. Then for concealers, I use the CoverGirl True Undercover True Blend Undercover Concealer.
The triangle parting, right?
The CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer.
So if you want to go into
and I have 3 of these. I have the shade Deep Golden, Golden Caramel.
They don't be much longer with the triangle, right?
Golden Amber.
the triangle is just how it would look as.
And I'm just gonna talk over again, just for the sake of just getting it out there. I'm gonna add the shades I have below, but I like that concealer. It's the closest thing that I can get to the Tarte Shape Tape in the drugstore. But I will say this: if you have the money to invest in the Tarte Shape Tape, I would say buy one first, see how you like it, and then just invest. Right now, they do have 30% off, and Afterpay is still very real. However, I want to be very clear that right now the makeup industry is at a very awkward place with this quarantine and with this current recession that's about to happen. So be very mindful in what you guys invest your money in at this stage in the game. I also have the Milani concealers, the LA Girl concealers. I like the Milani. The LA Girl, I don't really reach for it. It's, again, for a tone thing. I've tried the Fenty. The Fenty is a little bit dry, so it's not something that I would love to buy. But the Tarte Shape Tape, out of all the concealers I own, if somebody said, here, we are going to gift you with the entire shade range, what concealer do you want? Hands down, without a doubt, it would be the Tarte Shape Tape. I prefer over the Too Faced concealer. I prefer over the Urban Decay, the Makeup Forever. I've basically worked with all of those concealers, and I still, tried and true, love the Tarte Shape Tape. It's so creamy, so full coverage, and it blends like a dream. Here's the L'Oreal Pro Coverage Concealer. A lot of people like this. The thing with this, the deeper you go, the shade starts to get this really weird grayish undertone that I noticed the drugstore is very common for, are really weird, strong orange and red tones. So I can't buy too many shades. But again, this is just me saying the Tarte Shape Tape is the way to go. If you are at a good place right now with your makeup business and you're not too nervous about what's about to currently happen, I would say if you can, invest in a couple of these shades. Do it Afterpay. It's definitely worth the money. Like, maybe they're 30% off. Maybe do up to whatever is going to put $100 in your pocket. And then it's $25 every 2 weeks. And that's how you really build a kit. If you think you're going to step in the store and buy everything at once, you better have a scammer boyfriend at home. Next, I'm going in with my infamous contour shades. You guys know I love the William Tuttle. And what I was basically saying is that my favorite ones to have are Mogan. If you can only buy 3, it's Mogan. I don't know if that's Mogan. I really couldn't tell you. It's Mogan, Chocolate Cream, and Toasted Honey. If you're going to start off with 3 shades, make those the 3 shades you start off with, because those are the ones that I get the most use out of. I was just getting the rest out so you guys could see it. I pack my travel kit for travel clients. I will film that at a separate time for you guys. And you could just comment it down below, but just in case you care, I do use the MAC, I forget the professional term of it. It's the MAC travel kit, where it's like the MAC travel bag. That's what they call it. It retails for like $175. I got mine on Mercari for $75. Brand new. She just didn't want to give it as like a gift or something. It had all the papers in it. And the only reason why I wouldn't recommend the bag really is because when I actually go travel with it, it kills my shoulder. So if I could go back, I would get the Zuka. But just because I know a couple people did ask what I used to travel. And for lights, I just use a regular ring light. I don't have the link for my ring light anymore because I got my ring light in 2017. But I just have the newer one, and it's the 14-inch. Then I toasted honey. I would use toasted honey on a more lighter client. So the best way I would describe that, I would use toasted honey on a client like I'm gonna link it down below. Actually, that's what I'll do. Some of the products, if I've actually used it before, I will, next to it, I will link a video where you could see me using the product and what type of shades I would use it on. But the best description, I'd probably use toasted honey on somebody like Nicki Minaj or Rihanna, someone in their shade of range. But I'll also link videos where I've actually used it. And then chocolate cream. I love chocolate cream. Chocolate cream I use on more of a brown skin client, and I would probably mix chocolate cream with Mogan to get the perfect color. And then I also have these two other shades that I don't use. I don't really like them. I have hot chocolate. I don't really like this because I feel like it pulls very, very red. It's like a really, really weird, it's like really red. It reminds me of clay. So I don't really use this that often. What you guys see is from when I depotted it into my Vasette palette. And in my Vasette, I just have all my black opal shades and then the William Tuttle, basically my creams. And then I have ebony. I don't mind ebony because it can deepen the shades. The only thing about ebony is very neutral. So I feel like ebony can sometimes make people look very gray if I don't mix the shades together correctly. So that's the only thing I don't enjoy about ebony. But I do carry it just in case. So that's my concealers. I need more, but those generally work for me. You guys can kind of see most of the clients I do on a regular basis. So those shades work, but I definitely can say that this kit does need to expand on the more fair side because my kit doesn't really cater to that direction as much. So my glitters, as you guys know, I love to use glitter lightly. I'm not for the heavy lid anymore. I'm going to leave down below what glitters I use and the site I get it from. I highly recommend when you do buy it to get this container to keep your glitters in. This has saved me so much when I travel with glitters because glitter is very messy. It's very annoying. So to stop it from spilling, this really helps in like the entire kit because when you get glitter in your kit, it's disgusting. And I just leave mine upright just so I could read the name. You can do whatever you want, but some of the ones I use really quickly, Princess Peach, I don't actually use that one, so I don't know why I said that. I use Golden Tiara, Ultimate Nude. I love Ultimate Nude. If you can only get one Ultimate Nude, again, I'm gonna link videos where I've actually used this, but I know a lot of you guys like Ultimate Nude because that is the glitter I use in my most popular video, the gold bronzy smoky client something. Nutmeg, I love Nutmeg Vanity Gray, Sinking Sands. So I like most of these. And I use more neutral shades. As you guys can see, these are a lot of golds and silvers and browns. I don't really keep like pinks. I have pinks from like past, but I don't really keep that. So I'll list all the golds, all the glitters I carry in my kit because if I sat here and went through them all, it would be a lot. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to list them in the order that I would recommend you buying them, how you get usage. I just have a regular pair of scissors in here if I need to cut something. I have eyebrow scissors as well, but you really don't want to cut regular things with that unless you're trying to make your blade very dull. I have the Inglot liquid liner. I hate this product. Do not buy it. The tip on it is very annoying, but I got it on one of those pro discount websites, so I'm not able to return it to get my money back. And then I love the Benefit roller liner. I have it in brown and black, but it is a felt tip. I know some people feel very weird about that. I would definitely recommend a brown liquid liner as well, though. If you want a drugstore option, you can get the Wet n Wild one. It's okay. I don't really love it, but I know some people love it. I don't use it that often, so maybe I would love it if I used it more. Then, for the brows, as you guys know, I use the Ultimate Brow Palette by BH Cosmetics. A lot of you guys have told me when you went to go buy this that it is, what's the word? Discontinued. So the only one I can recommend is the... Okay guys, sorry again. I know that I think she was unraveling some hair, so I don't want you guys to keep having to hear that. But I was saying that I recommend the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Palette, and that the same thing for me. Once mine is gone and it's over, I would invest into that palette as well. Again, like I said, this is a very weird time to be investing in your kit, and that's just me being completely honest with you. Only due to the fact that a lot of people we've had to do a lot of refunds, reschedules, and a lot of cancels. So this is a very weird time to invest in your kit, but you know, you always have this for inspiration. Then I was showing you guys the mascara I use. This one is a very kind of wet, liquidy one. You don't want it too wet because you do want this to dry. And when it doesn't dry, it's very annoying because clients will look up when you tell them not to. So you do want one that's going to dry within a good amount of time. Then I use these two eyeshadow primers in the shade Coffee and Eden. So yes, guys, remember I do share the room, so don't be too upset or anything about me having to do these voiceovers, and I do have to pop in because if you don't pay rent by yourself, you can't expect like the luxuries of when you're in a room by yourself. So for the Stellazzi gel eyeliners, I have the shades Sapphire, Tiger's Eye, and Smoky Quartz. And out of all of those, I really don't use any of them often. And that's the Natasha Denona Blackest Black, my favorite black individual shadow. I was just showing you, these are just some of my singles. Let me see right now if the audio is good enough to hear what I'm actually saying in this video. Okay, so I just realized that it wasn't. So I was talking about the Inglot liners. I recommend the shades 77 for black, 76 for white, and 90 for brown. They have the nicest white gel eyeliner I've used. And I was saying that I use those more than my Stellazzi ones. And I was saying that I bought that single eyeshadow for $28 and it's my favorite black eyeshadow. The pigment on this black, it's so nice. It's so creamy. Literally, it's the nicest black I have. And I've had this black eyeshadow almost a year now, if not a year. Because I bought this right before I quit my job. So, and we're in April now, and I quit my job the first week of May last year. So, I probably had it for about a solid year now. So, yeah, and I was trying to compare it to another black, not Morphe black, because I don't really like Morphe black. And I was saying that the Too Faced one is actually somewhat close. However, I still really enjoy the black shadow I bought, and I don't regret spending that much money on a single shadow because I think I have a really good quality one. Sorry, I kept looking on my phone because I was trying to make it to morning yoga on time, which I did make it to morning yoga. That was the last yoga class I got to go to before we got locked up and they won't let us out. So next I'm showing you guys the Urban Decay glitter liner. I thought I was doing a tutorial for a second. I'm using. And I like those a lot. I like liquid liners a lot because they're able to, dry quickly. You want things that are going to work quickly, dry quickly, all that great jazz. But the con of those things is, at least with the Stellazzi, I don't really see this with my Urban Decay one, but the Stellazzi ones, not the Stellazzi, the Stila liquid eyeshadows, I find that they dry out very quickly. I don't know if it's just me, I don't know, because I don't even use mine too often, but I just notice that they dry out. So that was what I was talking about for my individual shadows. This video is about to cut off soon. I'm just going to let it play with whatever I'm saying, and we're going to go into the next part. This kit video is so long, but the kit's pretty big. Yeah, I think it's an empty, and I came over here like around 8:30 when people should be going to work.
Should be.
So I also have these Stila liquid glitters. I have two shades in here that I really, really like, especially I would highly recommend. Okay, sorry guys, I feel like overheated. Then I love, for pigments, the only pigments that I like are the Inglot pigments, and I have three. I have the shade 82, 24, and 118, which 82 is like a pinky brown color. I guess we're still in the spirit of swatching. And I only take whatever on the lid, so this probably will last me a lifetime. This is 82, so it's like a pinky brownish, goldish kind of color. And you can mix these two. Let's see. Where's the other ones? I just put the same one. Oh, I took them. Hold on one second. $24 is a really, really nice bronzy gold color. So if you're looking for like a true gold, $24 is honestly my favorite. So it's like a really nice bronzy gold color. And these are more pigmented when you actually build it up and you put it on the eye. I'm just doing it really lightly. And 118 is a very nice silver color. So really and truthfully, if you have a good base, I don't really think you need the rest, but it's up to you depending on what kind of work you do a lot. It's like a nice silvery champagne color.
Okay, good.
So that's all I'm going to show you guys for the pigment drawer, because this is really what I use the most. After that, I really don't use the rest of these products. They're just kind of stuff I have but wouldn't really recommend you buying, because if I was being honest with myself, I could probably throw them away because I wouldn't notice that they're gone. My bronzers and blushes, I love the BH Studio Wild and Radiant palette. As you guys see, I use this all the time in almost all of my videos. This is such a pretty highlighter. I've been using it since 2016. Not this exact same palette, but I keep rebuying it. It's a really, really good product because it sits on the skin really nicely. I love the, what is this brand called? ColourPop. The ColourPop loose highlighters. I like them a lot because they sit really nicely on the skin. However, with loose highlighters, I feel like you just have to be careful because I feel like it could get very dramatic very quickly. But I also do feel like loose highlighters sit on the skin a lot nicer. So I have this in the shade Blooming, which I think was limited edition with the Makeup Shayla collection. Did I drop something?
No, I did it, sorry.
You need me to pick it up?
Don't mind.
Turn this way.
Thank you.
No problem. So my favorite loose highlighter is oh, I actually have this another loose highlighter from AH Cosmetics. This loose highlighter sits on the skin so pretty and it's so nice and it blooms very nicely. I don't think she sells them anymore, but if she does, I'm gonna link it down below. My favorite loose highlighter that I have is from Danessa Myricks in the shade, they're called the Enlighten, and the shade Goddess. That sits on the skin really, really nicely. I have Becca Champagne Pop. This is really good for fair skin clients. I would just say get a highlighter palette though. That way you're not buying a bunch of singular highlighters, because that's the best way to waste money. You can only put highlighter so many places on the face. So save your money in the highlighter region and spend more money definitely in the complexion department. Out of all the things I've showed you, I would definitely say spend the most amount of your money on your kit on prep and complexion. My favorite blushes are the Sephora one. I love this Sephora blush. It is in the shade Hysterical. I've talked about it before in videos and I never remember the shade. It is in the shade Hysterical. It's like a nice pinky gold. Some people compare it to Orgasm by NARS. I have that one and it actually does look really similar when you look at it, but for some reason I prefer the Sephora one. So yeah, they both have that like pinky gold tone to it. So actually now that I look at it, I could see why people would say that. But I never used the NARS one, so that's just my personal thing. And I also like California by Benefit, and I love Milani blushes. Coral Cove from Milani was my favorite blush for the longest time. For bronzer, I love the Hula Toasted, and I like the Hula Caramel. Somebody asked me if I like the Fenty ones. I've never used it other than inside the store. Inside the store, it's really nice, but Fenty does not have a pro discount, and I just think personally the best, because a lot of you guys ask me how to build your kit, I would say Afterpay. And if you are licensed or if you qualify for a pro discount, or if you know somebody who has one, use pro discounts, because you're gonna end up using this makeup a lot. So you want to make sure that you're not just spending money out of vanity and because of whose name it is, but because it's a high quality product and it works. So for me, the Benefit one works. I do like Rihanna. She's really pretty and stuff, but this one is like $16. You get 40% off of Benefit once you have a pro discount. And they send you a full-size Gimme Brow. So, you know, you get a free product just for signing up. So for palettes, as you guys know, I use a lot of Morphe. This Jaclyn Hill one, I've had it for a very long time. This is probably one of my most used palettes that I use. Let's see. I don't like this one, so I'm not going to show it to you guys. You guys know I love the Morphe 25D. This one is literally the best neutral palette I think that is like on the market for like women of color. I feel like you could literally do anybody's makeup with this palette, and you could go really neutral, you could go really warm. That you can even do like some pinky mauve stuff in here. I really love this palette. I typically use that palette, and then I'll just use my other ones for a shimmer. I have these the Balm eyeshadows. They're just matte. They're okay. I don't really use them. And yeah, I don't actually use any of that rest of the stuff. If I do color, which is a rare occasion for me, but if I do color, I have the Take Me to Brazil palette and I have the James Charles palette. If I do need to do color, buy what works for you. I know that on my carnival video, a lot of you guys were recommending me like Juvia's Place and all that stuff. And that's fine. But again, when you guys are asking tips on how to build your kit, I wouldn't say like stress yourself out to have every single of this and this and this if you're not going to use it often. So if you notice that you don't use something often or it's not requested often, don't spend all your money trying to get it. Spend your money on things that you actually are going to use and need. Then we're almost done. We're almost to the end. So I could zoom again. Hit with the zoom. If you guys have it like a Sweet Keep Your Air freshener, that is called Hawaiian Breeze if you care. No girl, people want to know the craziest stuff. I keep a light scent, and we also have something cashmere woods, I think. Yeah, something woodsy. So for face powders, I use the Morphe face filter powders. I really like these. Again, I'm gonna link the shades I use down below. The ones I use the most often are 7, 10, and 11. Those are the ones I know I've picked them up the most recently. And for setting powder, I have this Sacha Buttercup powder. I don't use it. That's why there's so much of it. This is a really rare occasion that I'll use this powder. This powder is mainly used if I just feel like they need a little bit more warmth to the skin, but it's not something I grab for. I do have the Laura Mercier in deep and in translucent, but if I'm being completely honest with you guys, I wouldn't get the deep one. The deep one is really pretty inside the container, but for some reason, and if you guys have this as well, let me know. For some reason, when I use this on people, it always has like a weird like grayish reddish tint to it that is like really unflattering. So I would just say recommend going in with the translucent, because if you swipe off the translucent correctly, it should not cause any flashback. And then yeah, the rest of those powders, it's just a bunch of the shades, which I'll leave down below. For a drugstore option, I really did used to love the black opal powder, loose powder in the shade Neutral Light. Dun, 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 dun. And now we're at this last little drawer. As you guys can see, my last drawer is just a bunch of lashes I get online. That's why I never know, because I literally just use random pairs. Or if you are in Miami, you can go to this place called Subi's Warehouse if they're still open, and you can go get lashes from them. But I just buy random lashes online. I literally could not tell you what I use on anybody, because the washing machine, the dryer. Let me clarify, I'm not walking around smelling wet and smelly. Okay, here we go. So yes, as I was saying about the lash drawer, the reason why you guys hate me for the lashes, I really wish, like, I think I've included sometimes clips of how I do lashes. I will literally look in this drawer, choose like 2 random pairs, put one on one eye, put one on the other, decide if we're gonna mix it, do another one. So I never know, because I don't know myself. They don't have names. And we have the lip drawer. I'm going to list down below the lip colors that I use the most from these brands, but the ones that I do have in here for liquid lipstick, I have Dose of Colors, and that's basically it. I have Dose of Colors in here. That's really honestly what I use. Most of my clients like a pinky neutral lip, and they have really good red lips as well, so that's honestly, I like their shades for that. And for lip liner, I use MAC. MAC is my favorite lip liner. I do have some mixes in here, but honestly, once you get the MAC ones, I wouldn't use any of the other ones, because the MAC ones glide so nicely. And when you buy the MAC ones, spend the extra $7 and get the sharpener, because you're going to have to sharpen it and it's worth it. So this is Chestnut. I've had this bad boy. Oh, and to sanitize these, I have the Beauty So Clean sanitizer. Make sure you're sanitizing your lip ones, because it's not your business what people do, but you know, you don't want anybody else to get anything from somebody else. So make sure you're sanitizing it, wipe it down with a paper towel, and go and sharpen it. If you haven't ever worked at a beauty counter, maybe just watch them how they clean lipstick, and that's typically the code of how you're supposed to clean it. I've had this Chestnut for I want to say since October. Yeah, October is when I did my MAC order. So I've had it since October. This has seen me through a lot of clients, and I still have a lot more to go. So it was $12 with the pro discount.